Awesome. All right, so welcome to new member orientation. Oh, it says May. 1 second, let me make sure I have the right slides. Yep, these are the right slides. I just didn't change the cover. I'm so sorry. Okay, welcome to new member orientation. It's September, not May. I know it might probably feels like September, not like May yet. We are so excited that you're here. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jen Manley. I am the Membership Engagement Manager for CSTA, which means that I'm responsible for supporting the over 20,000 CSTA Plus and Basic members that we have from all over the world. A little bit of my backstory, I recently joined CSTA in May full-time, and until that point, I was a CS teacher. I taught middle school and then high school computer science, and I still teach CS as a college level instructor. I'm going to hand it over to Jason.
Thanks, Jen. Hi, my name is Jason Bohr, and I work with the chapters and chapter leaders here at CSTA. We have 100 active chapters, so if you haven't found your local chapter yet, we're going to help you find it this evening. We have over 600 volunteer chapter leaders, so when you're ready to get more involved, that's one avenue you can take. Before joining CSTA, about 2.5 years ago, I was a high school computer science and English teacher. And even before that, farther back, I was in the military for a number of years. Thanks for being here, everybody. Looking forward to getting more connected.
Awesome. All right, so we've told you who we are. We would love to know who you are. So if you can let us know in the chat your name and what you teach, and I don't know, if you want to share anything else, that's good too, maybe where you're from. Awesome. Great. So I see a lot of different levels of computer science represented, which is so cool. And we're really excited that all of you are here. One of the things that is so awesome about CSTA is that there are networks of computer science teachers just like you. So whether you teach elementary, high school, middle school, or a different subject or special education, you'll find other computer science teachers who you can connect with and grow with. We're really excited to later today, like Jason said, we'll connect you with your local chapter. So again, lots of ways that you can connect through CSTA. One is through subjects, subject matter, grade level, but also within your local community and tapping into people who teach by you. Awesome. Okay, so agenda of what we're going to do today is we are going to give you a brief intro to CSTA. We'll show you how to navigate your member portal. So this is your way to connect with all of your CSTA member benefits. We'll show you how to use some of those member benefits. We'll connect you to the virtual community, your local CSTA chapter, and give you some steps to be able to contribute beyond your classroom with CSTA, and then move into using your CSTA membership in whatever way is the most beneficial to you. Cool. All right, so we have some goals for today. Our goals for today are to really immerse you in this membership. So our big takeaway, you can read all of our individual goals, but the big goal for tonight is for you to feel confident getting the most out of your membership. So this is going to be an active experience where we're walking you through some processes. So if you're logged on to a computer, you will leave tonight knowing how to log on to that member portal, knowing how to update your preferences, knowing how to get into the virtual community and use that resource, and hopefully connecting with a local chapter if that's something that you want to do. All right, so I will throw this in the chat as well. So this is an editable PDF. Obviously, you'll have to download it to edit it, but it also has some quick links to be able to access all of the resources that we're going to talk about today. So it's all of your benefits and resources in one place. And that one is titled May, but it's just because that's the last time we updated it. So we made these updates, the updates to this guide in May. This is the most recent copy though. So the guide is there in the chat for you, or if you're in the slides, you can click directly on that link. Awesome. If questions come up as I'm talking or as we're going through things, please feel free to ask. You're welcome to raise your hand and ask out loud, or you can ask in the chat. You could message me directly or Jason directly, depending on your comfort level, if you want to share out. I will say most of the time, if you have a question, somebody else probably has the same question. So I know we would all benefit from a full group. All right, neat. So before we get into it, we would love to know, why did you join CSTA? What was your reason for joining CSTA as a member, either basic or plus?
Do you want that in the chat, or are we supposed to unmute?
Yeah, go ahead and put it in the chat. That way everybody has a chance to answer. Awesome. CSHS, yeah, it's an awesome benefit for sure. Oh, good. So we got some new to computer science teachers. I saw earlier we have some of you have been teaching computer science for a long time. CSPD week, awesome. Networking, yeah. Yeah, we find that a lot of people actually are, they maybe don't know that they're signing up to be a computer science teacher when they become a teacher, but they find their way into CS teaching, and we're happy to be a resource. One of the things that I remember very distinctly from when I got involved with CSTA as a CS teacher is just how welcoming the community is, and how open to sharing resources and connecting and collaborating. And I think that that is, and Jason, I don't know if you agree, but to me, that is like the hallmark of CSTA, that it's a collaborative community that's willing to help out. Okay, so CSTA, here's how we would describe ourselves. So we are a voice for teachers, driven by teachers. An example of this is our national conference each year is a program full of sessions that are chosen directly by a committee of teachers to meet the needs of people who are in the classroom. And most of the presenters at CSTA are active classroom teachers, or they're involved in some level of K-12 CS. CSTA is member focused. Everything that we do at the national level is with members in mind, thinking about what is best for our members, what is going to be most supportive to members who are currently in the classroom, who are entering the classroom. So we're member focused. We're committed to equity in our community and for the students our members serve. So this shows up in a lot of different ways in our programming. There are several people on this call who can talk about the value of the Equity Fellow program, which is a wonderful program. We just announced our Equity Fellows for this year. But everything we do is in this service to equity in the community and for the students that all of you teach. And then finally, CSTA is a place where people grow. So I know me personally, CSTA is where I was able to share my knowledge and expertise as a CS teacher, develop as a leader, and better serve my students. So CSTA is a place where people grow. Awesome. So CSTA is structured in a way that many nonprofits are structured. We're led by a board of directors that is made up primarily of teachers. So overwhelmingly, the board of directors is teachers or former teachers. We have staff members that support CSTA on a national level. So you can click this link and meet our staff, but Jason and I and Vanessa, who is also on this call, are all staff members. And I guess a fun fact is that the majority of our staff, I would say, did you say, Jason, the majority of our staff is former teachers. So we have lots of that like teacher-minded, classroom-mindedness at the staff level as well. CSTA has various committees to support our work and mission, so you can apply to be part of a committee. We just selected many of our committees in our like major selection for this year, but we always take applications and there are always opportunities to volunteer. And then finally, individuals can join CSTA as global members at the CSTA Plus or basic level. And then you can also join a regional CSTA chapter. So we'll talk more about the local chapter system in a few slides, but you all are what drives CSTA. Again, everything that we do is member driven. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is get you feeling good about using your member portal. So we're going to start by logging in and updating your profile if you haven't done so yet. So I'm going to do this with you on the screen. So you can look at the screen with me, or I'll narrate it out as well. But what we're going to do is we are going to navigate to the login page. You'll log in using your credentials. If you've never logged in before or you don't know your password, you can click Forgot Password to reset. And then we'll update our profile by adding a picture and adding any information that you may not already have in your profile. All right, Jason already has a link in there because he's a champ. So if you'll go to csteachers.org, and like I said, I'm going to do it with you. So if we go to csteachers.org, in this upper right-hand corner, you'll see this link that says member login, and you'll click there. When you get here, it's going to prompt you to log in. If you don't remember your login, you'll add your username, which is just your email address, and click forgot login, which will then prompt you to click forgot password. All right, so you'll log in. And then once you're logged in, you'll see something. Yours should look similarly to mine. So you'll see, maybe I'll get this so it's tiled a little better. Yours will look something like this. You'll see several different tiles. And depending on your membership level, your tiles might be different than mine. I'll give you a minute to get logged in. And if you'll just let me know, you can private message me or private message Jason, but if you just let me know if you need additional time, if I'm going too fast, I'd really appreciate it. Don't go too fast. All right. So if you're logged in, what we're going to do right now is click on this edit profile button. This edit profile button will allow you to add some extra information about yourself, which helps us to customize your experience. Okay, so you'll see all sorts of different information on yourself in here. And I would just suggest, if you are thinking about what to update, definitely start with your picture. This is really helpful if you want proof of membership. Our membership portal will generate a membership card for you if you need that for any sort of certification or anything like that. But also in the virtual community space, your profile picture will show up there. Okay, so you can click on any of your pieces of information by clicking on edit. And one important thing to point out is this company school information is really important if you want to have access to the grade band communities in the virtual community group. So if you go into company school information, you can add your school, or if you don't work for a school, you can add your company. So we'll give you about 3 minutes to change something on your profile, whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you're doing it and you have questions, just let us know in the chat and we're happy to help troubleshoot. This section under professional is also a good one to change. So if you click on edit here and you choose your primary professional role, you can add school and district there. You can add a teaching schedule, whether you're full or part-time, and then you'll select any or all grades that you teach and any or all subjects that you teach. Okay. the chat. No. So we do not sell, Susan, that's a great question. We do not sell member information to companies. So the only way that companies are able to contact members is if they are sharing information in our newsletter. So you would only, if you're displaying your email to other members, that makes you searchable to other computer science teachers. Yeah, I don't know why I have mine turned off. This is actually my CSTA profile. I actually have a separate profile for my like personal one as well. But good notice. Now everybody will be able to see it, which is good. The list text form. Yeah, Mark, I may have misspoke. Thank you for calling that out. To check your grade bands, I found it after I said that. You want to make sure that you're under professional information. So you'll click professional at the top and then click edit under professional information. And then you'll choose, if you choose K-12 teacher, it will prompt you to give your grade bands that you teach. So thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Mark is a great Twitter follow if you are on Twitter. I will shout that out. I think he put his handle in. Awesome. All right, if you need more time to update your profile and you don't want us to move forward, will you just use, just shoot me a direct message in the chat? Awesome. My one complaint about Google Slides is I wish once you turned on captions, it was on for the entirety of your presentation. Okay. Okay, so some highlights. We already talked about some of these in this member portal. There are your quick links. So you'll see this on your screen, quick links. So things like viewing the homepage of CSTA, joining a chapter, seeing the event calendar, which all of you successfully registered for an event because you are here. So you are already familiar with the event calendar, but all of our events will populate there as well. Okay, Mark, public emails, there's a specific newsletter that goes out to the entirety of the membership. So that would be an example of a public email. Okay. All right. You can also join a chapter from this. Well, there's a link to go to join a chapter. We're going to show you exactly how to do that here in a minute. But you can join a chapter. And then if you're a CSTA Plus member, you can apply to start a computer science honor society. If you have not seen that benefit, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but you can do that as well from your member portal. So that front page of your member portal has all important links, and your links will change whether you're plus or basic. So a few different things. We're just going to run through a quick highlight of all of the benefits that you have access to, and then we're going to show you how to access some of these benefits. I hear somebody unmuted. Is there a question? No? Okay. So a few different member benefits, and we've highlighted which ones are for basic members and which ones are for that CSTA Plus, which is that $50 annual fee. So lots of things that you can do. And here's a brief overview. Like I said, we're going to highlight a few here in a minute. Again, lots of different benefits that you can access, and we've divided them into several different categories having to do with supporting your teaching, how to stay informed with CS education, your connecting with the CS community, and enhancing your classroom. All right, so a few highlights of membership benefits if you are at the CSTA basic level. If you're a CSTA Plus member, you also have access to all of these basic benefits as well. So a few different ones to highlight that I think are super valuable and were very valuable to me as a classroom teacher. There is a searchable vetted PD opportunities page. So these are all PD opportunities that have been vetted by the CSTA professional learning team and associated committees of teachers. So you can search based on your goal, you can search based on PD format, you can search based on alignment with different standards and with grade bands, but this PD opportunities page is a wonderful way to make sure you are attending high quality CSPD. We also have searchable K-12 standards. So this is something that as a classroom teacher was extremely beneficial to me because a lot of times, you know, some things that you're teaching in your class, it may not always have the CSTA standards linked to it. And you, as your lesson planning, as your, you know, having observations from your administrators, you need to have those standards linked and highlighted. So the K-12 standards are searchable. You can search by topic, you can search by grade band, and it has the exact verbiage from the CSTA student standards. We also have the CS teacher standards, which are a great tool for you to be able to evaluate yourself as a CS teacher and to set goals for your growth as a CS teacher. And then finally, one of the resources that I wanted to highlight were the CS for Social Justice resources. So the CS for Social Justice resources are one of many collections of resources that are free and available through the CSTA homepage. But these are really wonderful because they are resources that you can use in your classroom on Monday, right? Or tomorrow. You need something for tomorrow. There are several pages like the CS for Social Justice link that have already ready to implement resources, lesson plans, and that are linked to standards and ready for you to use with kids. If you're a CSTA Plus member, we can navigate to your member benefits by clicking View Your Benefits from your member portal. So if you're a basic member, you'll also be able to see your benefits by clicking on View Your Benefits from your member portal. But this will take you to the benefits directory, which is searchable and includes instructions for redemption. So if you are on your portal and you click on, make this bigger so we can see everything. Access your member benefits. Here it is. I'm going to click View Your Benefits. And it will take me to our searchable benefits within our member portal. So again, really nice. You can search directly by name. So if I mention a benefit tonight that you're really interested in, you can easily find that benefit by searching by name. You can also search by category. So books, certification, classroom resources, etc., and it will filter. Okay, so I click search. And now it's only showing me those video resources, video recording resources. Okay. So we'll go ahead and highlight how to redeem a couple of them. Again, if you are not a CSTA Plus member, you'll want to follow along on my screen because you won't be able to access these benefits, some of them at this point in time. So the first category of resources I want to highlight is our video resources. These are really awesome because they're recordings of previous summits. So it's essentially PD on demand, which is wonderful. So if we're in benefits and I clicked video resources, we're going to go ahead and open the CS across the curriculum session recordings and resources. So I'm going to click view details. And when I get in there, because I'm logged in, I can see the redeem instructions. And I can search all of the sessions based on grade bands, session type, the type of resources, so slides or video, subject areas, or specific CS teacher standards. I also can search just by topic, title, or presenter. So for example, let's say I'm a 9-12 teacher. I click 9-12, and it is going to show me all of the sessions that are applicable to 9-12. I can watch it directly. And if there are slides associated with it, let's see if I can find one that has slides associated with it. So I'm going to do slides. Here we go. Wait a minute. I don't know why I cannot see the slides. I think it's something on my end with viewing it because it should have been filtered by slides. So you can easily access all of the recordings and there should be slides associated. So there might be something going on with this table that is not pulling up these particular slides. Let me look at a different example. So if you're a CSTA Plus member, you also have access to all of the virtual CSTAs. So we did one in 2021 and one in 2022. So now, yeah, okay, there we go. So there's something going on with that table, right? So let's say I'm in this one, this keynote, and if there are slides available, the presenter has given, you can click view slides and it'll pull open their slides as well. So a really awesome resource if you are looking for PD on demand or you're looking for resources, or maybe you went to a conference or a virtual summit and you really liked a presentation and you want to be able to find their resources again, that's definitely a resource to tap into. Another resource that we find that teachers are really excited about, category of resources, is certification. So one, if you're looking to get certified in computer science, you still need to take your CS praxis, you might be interested in some of the certification benefits. So we're going to take a look at the We Teach CS certification prep. So if I go back to my benefits directory, and I can click on certification. And if I go into the We Teach CS certification prep, I click view details, and it will walk through how I can go about getting access to this particular benefit, which is if you're a CSTA Plus member and you're interested in taking the We Teach CS certification prep course, you get an additional $300 off of that course. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely suggest checking out some of this certification resource, and then there are two more as well. And then the last one, well, there's two more that I want to highlight. There are classroom resources. So these are things that you can start using in your classroom. The one that I want to highlight, so if I click classroom resources, the one that I want to highlight is from Fidgets. So right here, Fidgets Education. If you're a CSTA Plus member, you can use this benefit to get free access to an introductory kit and sensor without purchasing anything. So as a CSTA Plus member, you can get this kit to sample in your classroom. And then if you decide you want to purchase more kits, they also offer a 15% discount. So this is just one example of a resource that's available to CSTA Plus members for use in the classroom. But as you can see, if I click on classroom resources, just go ahead and make sure it's updated. There are tons of different resources that we have from different classroom resource partners that you can take advantage of, whether it's a discount or a sample of a product or free training. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check it out, because I guarantee you there is something that you maybe are already using in your classroom or want to try using in your classroom, and you can get it for a discount if you're a Plus member. And then the last thing I want to highlight today that I think is really awesome is the CSTA job board. So if you click on this link, and I think Jason will probably drop it in the chat because he's the best. But the CSTA job board has many different job openings. So it could be for classroom teacher positions, but you also can find For example, here's a great one, a professional development lead. So if you're somebody who maybe is in the classroom, you're thinking about maybe transitioning out of the classroom, there are CS education specific jobs all pulled together on this job board. And if you are a CSTA Plus member, you are able to access a resume review using the job board, and obviously peruse all of the different listings and find opportunities that might be of interest to you. Other resources that we have that I think people value a lot. We have CS Today, which is our weekly newsletter. Everybody gets that. Every member gets that. We have The Voice, which is a monthly newsletter on CSTA news, original member content, and CSTA communications. That comes out the first Saturday of the month. We have the CSTA Plus newsletter, which only goes to CSTA Plus members, but includes programmatic opportunities and professional development opportunities. If you become a chapter member, chapters often have newsletters. I am a member of CSTA Maryland. Maryland has a great newsletter that highlights local resources and opportunities. And so if you become a member of a chapter, you get tapped into that community. And then we're on social media on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And our handle there is csteachers.org. All right, we are going to go ahead and highlight another opportunity that both basic and plus members can take advantage of, and that's our virtual community. So I'm going to talk through it and then we'll go through it as an example together. But we're going to go ahead and go in and update our profile, which lets you change your communications preferences. We'll show you how to view all communities and join any that are of interest to you. And if you've updated this information in your profile, you have already been added to several communities for your chapter selection or whatever grade bands you've indicated you teach, not or, and. If you just selected those today, or you join a chapter today, tomorrow, or the next day, so it typically takes about 24 hours, you will be added to those communities as well. So you'll be able to access local and grade banded communities. So we're going to go ahead and go to the virtual community. There's several different ways you can access this. So if you're still in your member portal, look at that, I'm not in it, but I'm going to go back to it by clicking member area. And then in my member portal, if I click on right here, CSTA virtual community, I click go to the community. And it will take you to the virtual community. If you're not logged in, so if it doesn't automatically log you in, when you click, there should be a login up in this corner, and you can log in using your same login details as your CSTA member profile. I'll give you a minute to get logged in, and then I'll show you how to join communities and how to update your profile. If you need help or you need troubleshooting, just let us know in the chat and we will help troubleshoot. All right, so once you're logged in, if you click on communities and you go to all communities, it's going to give you a list of all open communities. Some will be visible to you, and some might not. Some might be visible, but you won't be able to join. Okay, but for example, right? Let's say I wanted to join the APCSA community. I see a join button and all I need to do is click join. Okay, so several communities that I want to highlight. We have communities that are available for, like I said, grade bands linked directly to your member profile. So you can't join those. The only way to join them is to go and update which grade bands you teach in that professional section like we did earlier tonight. But you can join the APCSP community. You can join the APCSA community. We have several affinity groups. So we have the AAPI affinity group, the Latinx affinity group, the Black affinity group, and the CSTA Pride affinity group. So if you belong to any of those communities, definitely join those groups for an additional place to connect. We also have 2 topic communities. So we have artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we also have physical computing. So that's another one that you are able to join if that's something that you're interested in. If you're a CS coach, we have the CS coaches community. So that's one that might be of interest. And then, like I said, your chapter community, once you join a chapter, you'll be added to that chapter community as well. Let's go ahead and take a minute, join any communities that are of interest to you by clicking that join button. And then we'll go over how to change your mail preferences and profile. Okay. To change your profile, update your profile or your mailing preferences, you're going to click up here in the upper right-hand corner. There should be an icon. It's either going to have your picture or it might have like a generic profile picture, right? One of those like outlines. So you'll click there and then click profile. Once you're in your profile, we can make a couple of different changes. So you can change your contact details, and you can change that on this left-hand side. If you go to my account, we're going to click on email preferences. Okay. And you're able to update your email preferences for the community. So as a general rule of thumb, it will send you digest emails from the communities that you've joined. If you don't want those, you can opt out. So you can do this in a couple different ways. You can opt in or out of all community emails, or you can go to your opt-out list and opt out of specific communities. Again, this will only send you community emails for communities that you're part of, and that will only happen if there are new posts. So you won't get tons and tons of emails, but you'll get updates when people have posted in those communities. You can do participation emails, which are just if you are participating. So somebody replied to your comment, or somebody mentioned you or sent you an inbox. And then you can also opt out of promotional emails. Okay. Cool. You can get more specific in the community notifications page. So that allows you to have specific emails and email rules for all of the different communities that you're part of. Awesome. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to Jason, who's going to tell you all about.
I hate to interrupt you.
No, go
but
ahead.
I'm not, that wasn't successful at all for me. And I've tried it before.
Okay.
So I didn't get any of it. I keep putting that in the chat, but it doesn't work. I get no communities. There's no chapters in Pennsylvania that I get nothing. And I'm a Plus member.
So what do you see when you
I see join communities, but like there's none to join.
Jason, there's definitely a chapter in Pennsylvania, right?
There's 4.
So
It's okay. No worries. I've tried this before and left the page many times.
Okay, so what you'll probably have to do, and Jason's going to talk about this next, is you may not have joined the community in inside your member portal. And all of the chapter communities are auto synced. So nobody can join a community just to join a community. It's synced to your profile. And if you're still having issues, if you send me an email, it's probably on the like the technical side, and I'll have to reach out to somebody at Higher Logic, but I'm happy to fix it for sure. Okay. Awesome. All right. Jason, I'm going to hand the mic to you.
I kind of thought it wasn't working last year because I didn't pay enough money. I wasn't a Plus member and I kind of gave up. So I thought, well, I'll become a Plus member and maybe this stuff will work.
It should work. And
No.
so if it's not working, like my email address, I'll put it in the chat. If you shoot me an email, I can troubleshoot it and we'll get it fixed. Hopefully this week. I mean, I may have to go to the vendor, but I will definitely start the process tomorrow. So I'll put my email in the chat and we'll get it fixed. Because you should be able to access communities.
All right, transition. We're gonna talk about chapters here for a moment. So CSTA exists as a national and international organization, like Jen was saying, with nearly 20,000 or sometimes over 20,000 members, depending. And we have chapters in every state in the United States. Some states have more than one chapter, but every state has at least one chapter. So I'm going to point you towards a couple ways that you can join your local chapter, and you can join more than one chapter. So if you wanted to say join all of the chapters in Pennsylvania, you can join all 4. Joining a chapter is free. There is no required, must attend X number of meetings minimum. There's none of that. Most chapters send out a monthly newsletter or a quarterly newsletter. And some chapters will send emails, as opportunities arise. So you're not going to get bombarded with things from a chapter. It's a couple more emails, and hopefully they're emails you want to get. Like I said, your chapter leaders are volunteers, most of whom are classroom teachers. Some work at district or state levels, but most of the chapter leaders are, K-12 classroom teachers like you. Chapters focus on those 3 things on the slide there. They build community. That's probably their number one goal, because teaching CS, if you're in high school, you're likely to be the only one in your school. If you're in middle school and you have standalone classes, again, maybe the only one. And if you're a K-5 teacher, you might be the first person integrating CS into your classes. So the local chapter is a way to come together. And there's a couple ways to find your local chapter. Like Jen was showing you the member portal, where you can, from inside there, join a chapter, but you can also go to this kind of ugly URL that I shared in the chat, and it takes you to the Find a Chapter page. Now, I'll give you a hint here. Don't search by name, search by state. Type in your 2-digit or 2-letter state code, and it'll pull up all the chapters in your state. Like I said, every state has at least one. Here in California, there are many. Texas, New York, Pennsylvania.
I can't hear anything. I guess something wrong, right?
I think Jason just froze. Okay, I'm gonna navigate this until we get him back. So he posted this link in the chat, and you can go to find your chapter. We'll get him back soon. And then he's restarting his Wi-Fi. Okay, so whichever chapter you want, again, he suggested that you search by your state. So for example, I'm in Maryland, I choose MD, I search, and it gives me my one, which is CSTA Maryland. If I click view more, it gives me the chapter website. And up at the top here, you'll see join chapter. So you'll click join chapter. And once you click it, it'll ask you, are you sure? You'll say yes. And then it will add it to your profile. Like Jason was saying, you can join more than one chapter. So several states have more than one chapter, and depending on where you live, you might want to join all of the chapters for your state because they offer virtual events, right? Or in person, but it's a great way to be connected. Yeah, so if you want contact info for a specific chapter, the best way to do that is you go to the chapter, whichever chapter you're interested in, you click on their link, and then it'll give you the email address for the chapter, which maybe the person you talk to or not, but they'll definitely be able to get you to the person that you talk to. And you also can visit the chapter website, and your chapter website will have the leadership team and some additional information. Okay. So every chapter has a website, every chapter has an email address associated with it. And like I said, joining your chapter gets you on their local mailing list, which in my experience is typically only inclusive of things that you really need to know, right? So it's going to they'll send you information about events, ways to be connected, and it will also get you access to the virtual community for that chapter. So the only way to get access to the virtual community for a specific chapter is to join the chapter. And the way to do it is how we just showed you by clicking join chapter. Cool. All right, we're going to talk about a few other ways to engage, and then we'll open up the floor for questions. So several other ways to engage. You can engage with CSTA by attending events. You are a CSTA, there are several different types of events. You are obviously at orientation right now, which is a free event. All of our engage events are also free events. And then our professional learning events, professional learning series, and our professional learning summits, which happen twice a year, as well as conference, are paid opportunities with that are either free or discounted for Plus members. All of those opportunities, all of those events, the PLSs and the summit and the CSTA conference will email you after the event and send you a certificate that shows all of the professional learning hours that you completed as part of that event. So if that's something that you need for certification, definitely look into the different events. And what we found is that this is one of people's favorite ways to engage with CSTA. These are where the national level events live, and certain chapters also put their events on our events page as well. But again, the best way to make sure you're tapped into those events is to join a local chapter, because you'll get that information sent directly to you. If you're a CSTA Plus member, you are eligible to start a CS Honor Society, a CSHS chapter at your school. CSTA supports CSHS advisors through program management, and then a variety of different resources. And then there is a virtual community specifically for CSHS advisors. And new this year, there is a CSHS Leadership Summit that'll be coming later in the year for CSHS advisors and students. So if that's something that you're looking to offer at your school, it's a wonderful opportunity, and we would love to support you in starting one. Other ways that you can engage beyond your classroom. Again, becoming a CSTA Plus member is a wonderful way to tap into additional benefits, but it also supports our equity work. You can become a chapter leader, which is a way to develop professionally beyond your classroom. You can apply to present. That was the way that I engaged with CSTA before I joined staff. I was a conference volunteer, and then I also presented at the national conference. So if that's something you're interested in, you have great work that you're doing in your classroom and you want to share with other CS teachers, the call for proposals is going to open so soon. So make sure that you apply. Like I mentioned, and Jason has mentioned, you can become a chapter leader. You can apply or nominate others for awards. You can serve as a reviewer for those awards. And I just want to highlight, because I think it is pretty amazing, the CSTA national level awards are an extremely generous program in terms of like teaching awards. So each year, through a partnership with the Infosys Foundation, we're able to recognize up to 10 teachers as national level awardees with a cash prize, up to 5 honorable mentions at the national level, again with a cash prize and a pretty substantial cash prize. And then there are also regional level recognition with those awards as well. And again, if you are interested in volunteering, we just closed committee applications, but there are several opportunities that are open throughout the year, and community volunteer roles open up sometimes throughout the year. So definitely apply through our Engage page if that's something that you're interested in. So I mentioned this already, but we have volunteer committees. There's many different volunteer committees depending on whatever you're interested in: awards, conference, membership, publications, CSHS, professional development, policy, and that's just a few of them. So if you want to volunteer, you want to develop professionally and connect with CS teachers from all over the world, definitely look into joining a committee. So we have reached the end. We've reached the point for questions, but you might be wondering what is next. So you have set up your member portal, you've set up your virtual communities, or you've let me know that you need help getting into the virtual communities. So the question is, what do you do next? We would suggest that you attend an event. You're already at your first event, which is wonderful, but attending a professional learning event or an event with your local chapter is a great way to connect with other CS teachers. If you need support with your membership, our email address is membership@csteachers.org. Make sure that you join your local chapter or local chapters, or maybe you've always wanted to live in a different state and you want to join their chapter because you want access to their virtual events. Feel free to do that. I know, right, Jason, everybody loves people at their events, so feel free to join as many chapters as you'd like. Find a volunteer role, or check out resources. So using that CSTA standards or and quality professional development resource, or going through the video recordings if you are looking for PD on demand. One additional resource that that I didn't highlight, but I definitely want to highlight, is if you are a CSTA Plus member, you have access to our full courses. We have 2 full courses. One is an equity and identity in computer science course. And then the other one is the, oh my gosh, what is the other one? Do you remember?
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, yeah. Yeah, so these are on-demand courses that are 4 or 10-hour courses that will give you that professional development certificate at the end. They're self-paced. So definitely take advantage of that if you're a Plus member. Like Jason put in the chat, if you need help with your local chapter, email Jason. He will connect you. He is literally the best. So yeah, that's all we have, but we're here for support and to answer any questions that you might have. Feel free to unmute and we'll just do an open forum. And if you need to leave, thank you for being here. Rochelle, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about next year's conference. I know this year was in Chicago and I wasn't able to attend, but where will it be next year? Because I don't see anything on the website.
Yeah, so next year's conference is actually virtual with local meetups. So one of the things that we are doing in order to hopefully make it so that more teachers are able to attend the conference is every other year will be virtual with local events happening to still connect you with CS teachers in person. But yeah, that information will be coming soon. Like I said, the call for proposals, I think, is opening either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. And we expect that all of the information will be out with that call for proposals. That's an awesome question.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Andrew.
The on-demand PD that you were just speaking of,
Yeah.
with that, where do I find that? Is that under the benefits? I'm not seeing it.
So you should have received an email with a link to sign up if you're a Plus member. If not, send me an email. I'll put my email in the chat, like my direct email, and I will make sure you get added tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we are getting really positive feedback from people who are taking it. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely take advantage. Minnesota had a first chapter meeting today at 3:30. Small and mighty. growing. Yeah, if you're in Minnesota, join Minnesota, says Mark. Cool. What other questions can I answer? Or Jason? I'll put Jason on the spot too.
I love questions.
I have a question. This is Chris from Appleton. So I joined in June. Well, I joined years ago, but I joined Plus in June. And recently I saw that if you joined Plus, then you signed up for 2 something or another's, you got a discount or something. Is that still good for those who kind of joined before that email came out?
Yeah, I'm sure we can honor that. If you send me an email,
Okay.
I'll get you connected and we'll make sure that we honor that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Great question. Who was that just asked that, just so I make sure I can, or if you put your email in the chat, whoever just asked that, I can't see because there's a lot of different black boxes. I will look into it for you.
Yeah, Mark, I mean, most chapters, Mark's question is, are there any larger chapters, maybe more established, that are welcoming to folks farther away? And I would say every chapter is welcoming to folks that want to join. So if you look at the events page on csteachers.org, not only does it have our national events, it has the local chapter events as well. So you can kind of scout chapter events there that maybe, things that look interesting, you would want to attend, from a different chapter. There are some kind of regional chapter events coming. The Midwest is Best. They're having an unconference coming up on October 15th. You can find that on the events page, or if you go to like the maybe CSTA Indiana or CSTA Iowa pages, you can find them there. Every chapter also has a website. If you just Google search CSTA and the chapter name, Iowa, Minnesota, you can find them there. I can get a link to that Midwest, drop it in here though. That's a free event, I think.
The unconference? Yeah.
Actually, no, it's $10. Forget, but it's $10, but then you get a shirt.
Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's you're
Yeah,
paying for your shirt is what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm so glad this was helpful. Yay. Thanks for coming. We will stick around to answer any other questions you might have, but if you need to drop off, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We are so happy to have you as members, and look forward to welcoming you to chapters and to other events, and helping you get the most out of your membership. So please, if you need anything at all, we are here to help. Like I mentioned, we are member focused. So if there's anything you need, you can email me, you can email Jason, you can email the general membership inbox, and we will get you to the right person. But we are here to help. Yes. Yeah. So great question, Chris. We will upload this recording tomorrow, and you'll get an email from me with this recording, as well as the handbook if you need it as well. Yeah, so the plan is to send that out tomorrow, but depending on it, if things come up, it might be Friday, but my goal is tomorrow. You'll get access to this recording. Yeah. Okay. Great, I'm so glad to hear it. All right, well, have a wonderful rest of your evening, a wonderful rest of your week. And if you need anything at all, please reach out or hang back here, and we're happy to answer questions.
Join your local chapters.
Join your local chapter. They're the best.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Thanks, Monica.
Hey, I have a quick question. I'm Beth Smith. I'm in Bloomington, Indiana.
Hi,
Hi.
Beth.
I'm going to be doing a lot of these fun things because I did the teacher training, the PD at Indiana University in June. And so
Nice.
part of our agreement was to not only attend that week, but to do at least 12 hours of fun things. And so I know there's a variety of things I can choose from. I may have seen it in an email and forgot because I've slept a couple times since then, but is there a way to log that I was here today? And thus, do you know, or do I need to just figure that out on my own? Is this not related? This is just one event of a million things that I could do. You might be the wrong people to ask.
I'm happy to send an email. We don't usually for orientation. We probably should send proof of that for orientation as well. But until we figure that out, I will happily send an email saying that you were here.
Okay, well, and I can log it too. I just wanted to make sure that if there was one more step I needed to do before I logged out tonight,
No, good.
be participating and doing all the things you asked us to do. So it was really informative and really engaging. So thank you.
Great. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Okay. Bye,
Have a
Beth.
good-
Thanks, Beth.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and if there aren't other questions, bye. I'll go ahead and end our time together. But again, if you need anything at all, please send us an email and we're happy to help in any way. Awesome. Okay, I'll wait to log out until you're able to save the chat. Perfect. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Jason. Thanks,
Of
Vanessa.
course.